for our participants here today, ladies, you, the women from the Eastern Division of the provinces of Laos, Kandavu, Loma Mbiki, and Rotuma. You've traveled days ahead of the Women's Expo to be with us here in Suma. And on behalf of the Ministry and Government, I'd like to welcome you again. And thank you so much. Your presence here is proof of your dedication as artisans and entrepreneurs. And it's really a joy for my ministry to host you. It's therefore our duty to ensure that once you're in Suva, we provide you with the best possible opportunities that are there to capacity build and to empower you further. I know that the main reason for your visit to Suva is the Women's Expo, but you will find, starting from today and throughout the week, we've organized side events on topics which we feel are important to us as women, as mothers, as sisters in Fiji. One of the main side events, of course, is here for the REACH program. REACH, I'm sure you would know by now, is short form for Rights, Empowerment and Cohesion for Rural and Urban Fijians project. It's linked to the Sustainable Development Goals through the empowerment of women and girls. Ladies, you would find that the Sustainable Development Goals is something that all nations across the globe aspire to. And for us women, there's a special target which is recognized globally through the SDGs. Sustainable Development Goal 5, on the topic of equality of women and the empowerment of women and girls. And it's under that umbrella that our national laws, our constitution, and of course the initiatives that government comes up with, like the Women's Expo, all these fall under this global initiative. The REACH program is designed to provide equal opportunities for ordinary Fijians in the urban, rural, and the maritime communities across Fiji to gain access to the legal, social, and economic services provided by the Fijian government. Through REACH, you are able to access these services at home. You don't have to travel far to access these social, legal, and economic services. A key component of this outreach is that the groups providing it are not stationary, but mobile. In other words, they are meeting those in need of services at the locations where those in need are. In addition to delivering services, outreach has an educational role, raising the awareness of existing services. In April this year, we launched 3 buses that serve as mobile buses to cater for the needs of the service providers and the clients alike in making service delivery easier, timely, and efficient. In due course, the REACH services will be brought to the communities you live in as well. Today, you've heard from officials from the Department of Social Welfare, Department of Women, Legal Aid Commission, Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission, and the Fiji Police Force regarding gender-based violence, which I'll speak about shortly. And on that note, I'd also like to again thank our partners, those who have signed up with the REACH program, the Legal Aid Commission, the Fiji Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission, the Fiji Police Force, and of course, the Ministry. These organizations have been our partners in the outreach programs that are carried out at the community level as well. You can hear about their programs and be provided with the services right here. I encourage all of you to gather as much information as possible and further disseminate to others in your communities when you return home after the Expo. For those of us who haven't seen the Expo bus yet, I understand that during the Expo, it will be parked at the Vodafone Arena. So you'll get to be able to access the services you're hearing about today at the arena. Having mentioned the challenges that rural women face in accessing services and economic opportunities, it is safe to say that gender-based violence is one of the most severe, detrimental, and inhumane obstacles in the empowerment of women, not only in Fiji, but globally as well. One thing we have understood well is that gender-based violence is a result of gender inequality. Societies and homes where gender inequality is prevalent are also the very ones where gender violence is also prevalent. The saddest part is a majority of this violence happens within homes and is perpetrated by men on women they share an intimate relationship with. Fiji can no longer afford to let its women suffer in silence. Government has shown its commitment by allocating program budgets for the elimination of violence against women and the domestic violence helpline. Ladies, you would know that earlier this year, the Honorable Prime Minister launched our first national domestic violence helpline. It's a toll-free line, 1560, which is available to victims of violence. Not only women, our children as well are victims of violence in our society. And there's also a toll-free line specifically for them. I wish to remind you that it is your right to be safe, to be protected, and to have access to justice through legal services. I hope you have taken good note of the services that are available for you and all Fijian women, and that you will help anyone in need with relevant information regarding these services. I wish to also reiterate that ending violence is not only the responsibility of governments and service providers. It is up to us as families to instill good values in our children, to grow up to be adults who respect others regardless of their gender, to treat our spouses with love and respect, to speak openly about violence and other social issues to understand them better, and to educate ourselves on our rights and responsibilities. It is also up to our community and church leaders to speak to us about this terrible problem and support women who are victims and counsel men who are perpetrators of violence. We need to establish a support system around us in times of need so that we can reach safety. I'm also pleased to note that we will be visiting the Parliament of Fiji later today, and also meet with other women parliamentarians. Women's leadership and equal participation in decision-making is an extremely crucial area of development, and sadly, across the globe, there's slow progress in this area. Women's leadership is the opening act towards a more inclusive, equal, and balanced society, developing the environment that enables women to have a full and equal voice in our communities, institutions, enterprises, and public electorate is the most logical thing to do, as women leaders bring a diversity of thought, better governance, and organizational performance, leveraging on human capital, and promotes equal representation in the decision-making process. Your meeting with the women MPs will give you the opportunity to see and learn from how women leaders at the parliamentary level work, the challenges and opportunities they have as leaders, and understand their visions for our nation. With these words, I again welcome you all and wish you all the very best for the program, and of course was the Women's Expo for the rest of the week.
I think this will conclude our photo session this morning.